Up yours, Christopher Nolan. Hey everybody, welcome to another review, and today I am reviewing The Batman. Yes, The Batman came out this year, of course, 2022, and it was written by Matt Reeves and Peter Craig, and it stars, of course, Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz, Paul Dano, Jeffrey Wright, John Turturro, Peter Sarsgaard, Andy Serkis, and Colin Farrell. Yes. All right. The Batman. Yes. Here it is. Here's my review for The Batman, just in case you're wondering if I was going to review it or not. Here it is. So, okay, so when I first heard about this movie, you know what I was thinking? I was thinking, oh, great. Another Batman movie. Yeah, I was thinking it. Okay, so just for the record, I am not really a superhero movie fan. It's not that I hate them or anything. I just never really got into them. I mean, I liked them a little bit better whenever I was a kid. You know, I liked the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films. I liked those whenever I was a kid, and the first Iron Man and whatnot. But I just I don't know. As I got older, like even as a teenager, I just never really got into superhero movies, and even just superheroes in general. I mean, I like a handful of superheroes, but I never was like a comic book reader. You know, Batman on the other hand, Batman was a superhero and still is a superhero that I do like. Like he might even be my favorite superhero. I don't know. Maybe not. I'm not sure. I like him and I like Spider-Man and whatnot, but I always liked Batman. Um so yeah, but you know, because I wasn't a big superhero movie fan, and also most Batman movies I didn't really like very much. I wasn't really looking forward for this film. Well, I wasn't really. First of all, if it wasn't for this channel, I probably never would have watched this film. But because I have this YouTube channel, that's why I watched it. I mean, that's the reason why I watched the new Dune movie that came out last year. Yeah, so yeah, you know, I didn't really have any high hopes for this film, even though I did hear good things. But even the good things I heard, I still wasn't really looking forward for this film. And then, you know, I didn't watch in theaters because I don't watch movies in theaters. You know, once it came on HBO Max, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it and review it. If I don't like it, then whatever, you know. Well, I watched it last night, and guess what? I liked it. I liked it a lot, actually. Pretty well enough. Yeah, I actually enjoyed it though. Surprisingly, I know I'm shocked. I am so shocked that I enjoyed this film. I did not think I was gonna like this movie. I was gonna think maybe it was decent at best, but no, this movie is actually really good. I am really shocked. Um, and yes, even better than the Nolan trilogy, as you saw in the intro. I'm not a Christopher Nolan fan in general, but I do not like the Batman Christopher Nolan trilogy, the Dark Knight trilogy, if you will. I'm not a fan. I am planning on maybe rewatching those sometime though, because I'm actually planning on sometime doing a Christopher Nolan ranking for the channel. Uh, I'm not a Christopher Nolan fan, but I decided, you know what, fuck it, I'll watch them anyways. So you know, I'll rewatch those films sometime. I have seen all three of the Nolan films, so I have. But but yeah, this was so much better. I will say I think I might like the Burton films better though, or at least the '89 Burton movie. I might like it better than Batman Returns. I don't know yet, but I think I still like the Batman '89. At least at the moment, I do. But no, I still I still really enjoyed this film. I did. So yeah. All right. So not really much. I don't know what all I could say for the plot, especially without spoiling. But it's basically, it's a different kind of Batman story. This is more like a detective type story. So like Batman, tries to solve this mystery. Well, or he like tries to, he tries to figure out who the Riddler is, and the Riddler in this version is a serial killer, which is really interesting. Way different from the from Jim Carrey's version in Batman Forever. But yeah, so he tries to solve this case, this mystery of this serial killer who's killing everybody in Gotham, the Riddler. So I don't know. That's I guess all I can say about this movie. I'm sorry that doesn't really say much, but I just don't really have a whole lot to say in terms of the story, at least without spoiling. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much all I can say. But yeah, Batman's kind of more like a detective than a superhero in this film. And he has the help of like Commissioner Gordon and even Catwoman, Selena Kyle. We'll get to her later. I'll talk about the cast in a minute, but I didn't say who played Riddler yet, but we'll get to that. But yeah, and yeah, it's I guess that's about all I can say. So yeah, all right. So like I said, really enjoyed this film, and I have to be honest, I don't really have any problems with this movie. I'll go ahead and say the negative that I have. I think there's only like one negative I kind of have with it. I'll go. Usually I say the positives first, but I have a lot more positives than negatives. So I'll go ahead and say it. The negative. I don't care for the editing. That's pretty much it. I don't really care for the editing. I find it kind of at times, especially during the action scenes, like it's just not done very well, and that's kind of also a problem that I had with the new Dune movie as well. But like sometimes bad editing kind of makes me like not really know what's going on. Like it kind of like just because I have a really bad attention span, so it kind of just like fucks with my attention span like even more if something like fast, like something too fast happens, then yeah, it kind of just like takes me a minute to pick up what's going on, and I don't like that. I don't like that. That's the big problem I have with action movies is that for the most part, I don't like their editing because it just a lot of stuff will just happen too fast, and yeah, there are some moments of that was in this movie that did take me out of it, but that's about it. That's honestly about it. Like I'll go ahead and say right off the bat, no pun intended, but like the runtime didn't even bother me too much. This is almost a 3-hour film, and I usually don't like 3-hour films. For me, 3-hour movies either have to be interesting all the way through or entertaining all the way through, or both. This one, now it wasn't quite entertaining all the way through, but it was interesting all the way through. So that's why it didn't really bore me. There were some scenes that kind of just like, kind of dragged a little bit for me, but that's on me. I'm not blaming the movie there. That's just me because I have a really bad attention span. So there were some scenes that I wasn't really quite into, and like some dialogue too that wasn't really quite into, but that's just me. It just happened like in a scene or two, and then the next scene it picks back up. So yeah, again, only the editing that's the only issue I had with it. Other than that, this movie is great. All right, all right, so right off, so let's go ahead and talk about the positives. This was very well made, directed by Matt Reeves, and I'm not familiar with Matt Reeves very much. The only things I know that he did, like the big movies that he's done, were Cloverfield, and he did two of the newer Planet of the Apes trilogy. I think I've only saw the first one, but I don't think he did that one. I think he did the second and third. Um, yeah, and I think those movies like made him popular. But and I haven't seen any of. I've seen the first one, but I didn't see the second or third, and I haven't seen Cloverfield. So this was actually my first Matt Reeves film I've ever seen, and yeah, I thought he did a great job with this movie. The cinematography is great. I really like the cinematography a lot. A lot of cool shots in this. Even the color palette is awesome. It's kind of gray looking, but it fits the mood of the story like really well, and it fits even the character of Batman very well. So yeah, that was awesome. Story was all right. It was not like amazing, but it was pretty good. I actually found it a little bit more interesting than The Dark Knight in terms of story, to be honest. So yeah, I thought the story was pretty good. And then I'll save the performances for last because that's probably the best part of the film. Um, let's see. Music. The music was great. It was scored by what's his name? I'm probably gonna butcher his name. I gotta look it up too because I forgot the guy's name. But just give me a minute. If it'll load. Michael Giacchino. Michael Giacchino. I hope I said his last name right. I don't know, but he's a pretty well beloved film composer. Let's see, what all movies did he do? He did Super 8, Speed Racer. Did some of the Planet of the Apes films. Oh yeah, he did also some Pixar like The Incredibles, Ratatouille, Up, and yeah, some others. And yeah, I really liked his score on this film. Like that was one of the best things about it, and also not just the score, but there's also a song by a certain band I love. You could probably tell by my shirt. Yeah, there was in the soundtrack, "Something in the Way" by Nirvana was in it. I actually knew that even before going into the movie because I heard that song was like kind of. Well, I even heard that like Kurt Cobain was like an influence on like Bruce Wayne's character in the film and whatnot, and they were playing that song "Something in the Way," and yeah, that was really cool to hear that song in that movie because I don't think I've ever seen a movie with a Nirvana song in it. Nirvana doesn't get played very much in films, unfortunately. I think the only one I can kind of think of was mid '90s, which was a movie I reviewed for the channel. Go check it out if you haven't already. But that did have like a little bit of Where'd You Sleep Last Night, but it was just like the riff, I think. Other than that, I never heard. I don't think I've ever seen any other films that had Nirvana songs in them. So yeah, that was really cool hearing Something in the Way in this movie. I've had that song stuck in my head ever since I've seen it now. Like it's literally playing in my head right now. I'm not joking. Um but yeah, music was great. I don't know what else to say. So I guess I'll besides the performances, but so I'll go ahead and get to the performances now. All right, so I'm gonna say Pattinson for last, but you know what? I'll just go ahead and say this. I didn't think there was a bad performance in this movie. I thought everybody was great. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Who do we want to start out with? Let's start out with Jeffrey Wright. Jeffrey Wright plays he plays Commissioner Gordon. I really liked him. Like honestly, I thought he was a better Commissioner Gordon than even Gary Oldman. And I'm not just saying that because I don't like the Dark Knight trilogy. I love Gary Oldman, but I thought he was better than Gary Oldman as this role. The only other movie with Jeffrey Wright I think I've ever seen was Broken Flowers, which is a movie I talked about a little bit on my channel, but it was that movie with what's that director's name? Jim Jarmusch, I think is the director, and Bill Murray is in the movie. That's the only movie of Jeffrey Wright I've ever seen before this. No, actually, no, he was in the French Dispatch, and I actually did watch the Wes Anderson film. I'll talk about that later in a later video, but yeah, that's right. He was in that movie. I forgot. But yeah, he was very good as Commissioner Gordon. I really liked him a lot. Let's see. Who's Peter Sarsgaard again? Let me check. Because I'm trying to remember. Gil Coulson. Okay. I don't really remember him too well, so I think yeah, he was all right. I think I know who he was. He was okay. All right. Let's see. Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis was Alfred, and yeah, I really liked him. Now, I kind of wished he was in it a little bit more, but he was very good. I actually liked Andy Serkis as Alfred. John Turturro, very good. He plays what's his name? Falcone, I think is his name. Yeah, Carmine Falcone. He was very good. Even though his character Falcone, even though his character was a piece of shit, but he plays piece of shit characters very well. Go watch Do the Right Thing. He played a very good piece of shit character in that movie too. But yeah, John Turturro was great. Kind of surprising that he was in this movie, honestly. Like I think that was the biggest surprise whenever I first saw the cast. I saw John Turturro's name. I'm like, oh really? Wow. Okay. All right, so I'll talk about Zoe Kravitz. Zoe Kravitz, she was one of my favorites in this movie. I loved her. And she honestly I think I might have a crush on her now because she was awesome in this movie. And yeah, I think some people had problems with her. I didn't. I thought she was very good. I mean, now who's better, her or Michelle Pfeiffer? I might say Michelle Pfeiffer was better as Catwoman. Oh, did I say that by the way? Zoe Kravitz was Catwoman. Yeah, Selena Kyle, Catwoman. Yeah, yeah. But no, I really liked Zoe Kravitz. She was awesome and she was sexy as hell too. Just want to say that. But yeah, yeah, she was great. Colin Farrell. Let's talk about him. Colin Farrell. I mean, even going into this movie, I've even seen pictures of what he looked like in this movie. Does not look like Colin Farrell at all. The makeup is amazing on him. And yeah, his performance was very good. Like, even his voice, it didn't even sound like Colin Farrell at all. But yeah, he really pulled it off as he plays Penguin. And yeah, he was very good as Penguin. I still might like Dan DeVito better, but he was very good. And I do kind of think he wasn't in it a lot in this movie, unfortunately. And he wasn't really much of a villain in this movie. But I'm thinking because they are probably going to do a sequel to this, hopefully he'll be in it more and hopefully he'll be a villain in that movie. That would be awesome. But yeah, he was great though. Colin Farrell was really good as the Penguin. All right, and we got two more. Paul Dano. Let's talk about Paul Dano. Paul Dano plays the Riddler, and wow, really awesome. I love Paul Dano, by the way. I am a Paul Dano fan. Every movie that I've seen him in, There Will Be Blood, Little Miss Sunshine, even The Girl Next Door. He was in that movie, a very underrated movie, but he's great. Oh, Swiss Army Man as well. I love Paul Dano. Such a great underrated actor. And yeah, his Riddler was awesome. His Riddler was, like I said before, is completely different from like the Jim Carrey Riddler, but no, he was awesome. Probably my favorite performance in the movie. I think so. It's a tie between him and Zoe Kravitz, honestly. Like, I loved Zoe Kravitz that much. And Paul Dano was, yeah, amazing. So, yeah, he was great as the main villain, the Riddler. And last, but definitely not least, Robert Pattinson. He was an amazing Batman. He was awesome as Batman, without a doubt. Bravo, Mr. Pattinson. Bravo. And you know, I still haven't seen too much with Robert Pattinson. I did see maybe the first Twilight, I think. And yeah, of course, I'm a big Harry Potter fan. He was in Goblet of Fire, Cedric Diggory. So yeah, you know, I knew him from those. And I have seen The Lighthouse, and I really liked him in The Lighthouse. That really proved to me that he can act, was in that movie. But this one, yeah, he was awesome. I think when I first heard that he was playing Batman, I was thinking, really? But yeah, he was awesome. And go ahead and say this. I'm going to piss some people off, but I don't care. He was 10 times better than Christian Bale. 10 times. I hated Christian Bale as Batman. I hated him. To be honest. Like, yeah. I honestly think Christian Bale is one of the worst Batmans we've ever got. I said it. He was a decent Bruce Wayne, but he was a terrible Batman. I don't like Christian Bale anyways, but but Robert Pattinson was awesome as Batman. Bruce Wayne, I liked him as Bruce Wayne. Now, some people are saying that they don't like his Bruce Wayne. I'm fixing the camera a little bit. They don't like his Bruce Wayne because his Bruce Wayne is more just Batman than Bruce Wayne. Like, throughout the film, he only has like one personality as both Batman and Bruce Wayne. Like, he's just moody and stuff. That's pretty much it. One of my favorite YouTubers, I give him a little shout out, Tyrone Magnus. I watched his review for this film. He called him an emo Batman. Yeah, pretty much. He's emo pretty much in this movie. But I thought he was good. Even as Bruce Wayne, I actually liked it. Of course, it's a different take on Bruce Wayne, but I liked it though. I mean, I do kind of think it's weird that he, you know, is pretty much the same character on both sides, but, you know, whatever. I guess they were just trying to do something different with Bruce Wayne, and I liked it. I really did. So yeah, I really liked Pattinson as Bruce Wayne. He was awesome. Is he my favorite Batman? I'm not entirely sure. It's either him or Michael Keaton. I'm not sure which one I like better. I might like Keaton better. I don't know. But like, again, a hell of a lot better than fucking Bale. That's for sure. But yeah, Pattinson was great. I like Paul Dano and Zoe Kravitz better, though, to be honest. Yes, even Zoe Kravitz I liked better, and maybe even Colin Farrell as well. But Pattinson was great. So yeah, all the performances were great in this film. I did not have a problem with any of the performances in the movie. Even some of the cast members I didn't mention, I didn't think anyone was bad in this movie. Yeah, this movie was great. I really enjoyed it. Now, the rating I am going to give it, it's not going to be like real high, but, and the only reason why for that is because I will say it did kind of take me a little bit to like really get into this movie. Like, I think in the beginning I was thinking, this is not bad. This is pretty good. but it got better and better as it went on. And I just kind of think maybe I should just rewatch it. I don't know when I will. I don't know if I will anytime soon, but I am, however, and I wasn't even thinking about this until after I finished it, but I think I'm probably going to end up buying this movie sometime. Like, I can see myself buying this movie. Whether or not I'll watch it a lot, probably not, but maybe every one or two, once or twice every year, maybe. Um, so yeah, I could definitely see myself watching this again. Um, yeah, I did. I'm so shocked that I liked this movie. I thought this was great. Really close to being my favorite Batman movie. Maybe the more I watch it, maybe it will, but I do like the 89 Batman better, I think. So that's currently my favorite Batman movie, but this is probably a close second. I really enjoyed the Batman. And I don't know what else to say about it, so I'm going to go ahead and give it its rating. I'm going to give the Batman 2022 a 3.5 stars. I was thinking about 4 stars, but I decided to give it 3.5. Maybe it'll get up there in 4 on rewatch. We'll see. But right now, 3.5 stars. But I liked it a lot. So yeah, The Batman, 3.5 stars. Great film. I highly recommend it. It is awesome. Yeah. All right, there we go. There's my review for The Batman 2022. So in the comments, what is your favorite Batman? Have you seen The Batman? Have you not? And what is your favorite Batman movie? For me, like I said, is Batman 89. But yeah, what's your favorite? All right, so please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. And I do have an announcement to make. Next week, I'm only going to release one video next week because let's see, what is it? Yeah, next Wednesday is Star Wars Day, and I'm planning on, I haven't started it yet, but I am planning on doing a Star Wars ranking. So for that week, that's the only video you're going to get because it's on Star Wars Day is on a Wednesday. So I just decided just to release that video that day, but yeah, that will be the next movie related video. My next video though, I think is going to be is going to be a music related video. I think I'm going to try to do a top either 20 or top 10 favorite Velvet Underground songs. So check that out if you're interested, that is. And if you're interested in my Star Wars ranking, look out for that next Wednesday. So yeah, anyways, those are future videos there. Look out for those. So yeah, anyways, I'll see you this Thursday for my Velvet Underground list. All right, see you then. Peace.